Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 2023. In this episode, I'm going to go ahead and play the first game of the regular season where my Carolina Panthers will play the Cleveland Browns. Now, in the last game of the preseason, I really struggled there against the Buffalo Bills some, and I think the whole thing that really got me was I really started to get away from the mentality that I have for my team. I want to run the football first and then do play action passes based on a successful running game. Instead, I don't even know why exactly, but I really tried to force the pass game a bit, and I allowed the game to get out of hand a bit toward the beginning. Luckily, I was able to turn that around. I was able to get back in control and run the football, and in the end, come back in the game. So, it ended up being a really good game in the end, but I have sort of learned from that, and I realized I need to stick to what I want my team to be, which is running the football. Now, I went ahead and did cut some players on my team, nothing really significant, basically just the lowest ranked players that weren't going to be adding to the team, so I could get my roster down to the regular season level. As far as news in standard football right now, nothing has really gone on with the Carolina Panthers over this week. Um, Pretty much everybody just seems to be sort of sitting quiet right now and waiting for the draft to come up, which will be big news for my team because the fact that we have that first round pick or the number one overall pick. I'm guessing we're going with a quarterback for it, but that's still to be determined. So as it is, let's go ahead and jump into this game this week, and hopefully here soon, I believe it's usually week 2 or something like that, we'll get our option to move the franchise. I'm wanting to move the team, if at all possible, to Florida. I have plans of doing that, and basically I want to move it to Orlando if at all possible. I think I've spoken about this in previous videos, but the thought I have is I thought that the Raiders made one of the two really smart decisions possible for a football team. So the two places I felt like are lacking a team and could really use one are the places where there is a large amount of tourism already. Vegas is a huge tourist destination with all the casinos and everything of that nature, so it makes sense to have an NFL team there. And the Vegas Raiders now having their stadium pretty much right on the strip was a brilliant decision on their part. And I think over the next couple of years, we're going to see financially that becomes true for them, as I think they will sell out many games, not with just hardcore Raiders fans, but with people who are in town to enjoy Las Vegas or in town for some other reason and decide, you know what, since we're here, we might as well catch a football game. So I think that will work for them. In much the same way, I'm wanting to move my team from Carolina to Orlando because of the fact that you have all the amusement parks in that area. Now, as you've possibly noticed on this channel, I play a lot of amusement park games. I'm a huge fan of amusement and theme parks, and I appreciate them overall. And I think much the same as the Raiders moving to Vegas, if a team were to move to Orlando, not only will you have sort of a local fan base that will really be there for the team, but you'll also have a lot of people who are traveling to the area for other things, in this case, the amusement park industry, who will also probably go to a game if it's available to them. So I feel like that would be a really successful thing for the Panthers, and so that is the plan as soon as I can move the team. But for now, as I said, we don't have that prompt yet, so let's go ahead and jump into a game against Cleveland and see how we do with the regular season.
Today, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, it's week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers taking on Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, there's nothing quite like it. That feeling of beginning another NFL season. And these two squads are going to do just that in a moment.
And what makes it so exciting is the range of possibilities these teams have before them, because we could be seeing one of these teams earn the Lombardi Trophy in February, while the other, they could earn the #1 draft pick in April or anything in between. And we've got the best seat in the house every step of the way.
We see Carolina's offense getting set for their first possession here. And at quarterback, his second season with the Panthers, Sam Darnold.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice, because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 42-yard line. Darnold will hand off to McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at the Browns' 33. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Faking the give, Darnold rolling to his left. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season, he's drinking.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Panthers are on the board here first in the season opener. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. The Browns on their way out now for the first time, and we'll also get a look at the player brought in from Houston to run this offense, and that's Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson makes his return to the NFL gridiron this season after holding out for the entirety of 2021 and being traded from Houston. The Cleveland Browns, they made a big investment not only to bring him in, but to give him by far the most guaranteed money in NFL history. If Watson remains the same player he was in Houston, though, a 3-time Pro Bowler and one of the game's biggest playmakers, he may finally solve a decades-long search for Cleveland's franchise quarterback.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On second down, there's the option going left. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on third down, Watson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
First down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now Watson. And this one is incomplete. That his first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Back to throw, Watson. And that will be incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
York able to send this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 68 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Injuries got to McCaffrey again in 2021. He's played just 10 games since his historic 2019 season. He's been averaging well over 100 yards per game when he's out there, though. And fans of the game are hoping this is the year he gets back to a full season of work.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Panthers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback. We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Watson. That one caught by Felton. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 45 on 2nd down, Watson. That's caught at the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Watson looks to throw again. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. York able to send this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Brandon Ayuk, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. The Browns really liked what they saw from Donovan Peoples-Jones in 2021 as he came into his own as a deep threat, averaging nearly 18 yards a catch and getting nearly 600 yards total. They think they've got a long-term starter on the outside, and he picks up a first down here.
They'll run on first down. Felton, with a juke. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Brian Burns in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
That's his second sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a give right side. Felton. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Here's Watson. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, first and 10.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Darnold and the Panthers now with a first and 10 here.
At their own 27. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
124 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around the finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Play action. It's Darnold. He rifles complete, caught by Moore. Then he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it, and they do so and pick up a first down.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to ball his way in for a Panther score.
Christian McCaffrey
halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Panthers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and the lead is up to 15 now. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as King opts for the touchback.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. Felton, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Felton, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this third quarter. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. They'll try and run for it. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the call there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards midfield, so not as crazy as if they were back at their own 20. Right?
Showed a little faith in the defense too, right?
Yep.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
On 1st down, Watson. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll keep it on the ground. Felton. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's 4. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going. They'll try and run for it with Ford. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jerome Ford with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So this now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a one-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Christian McCaffrey and the Panthers about set to go on offense. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
143 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run with McCaffrey. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. This is McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
McCaffrey. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Here's McCaffrey. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Carolina, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you again for the next episode.